All this month, we've been talking about goal setting, which is a great way to start off the year, but it's something that we can do anytime throughout the year. So don't hesitate to get started and set some new goals for yourself, whether it's January or it's October. Now that you've set some goals for yourself, it's important to figure out how to assess if you're moving forward with those goals. I tend to be someone who really likes a lot of data. I like to analyze the data, and I like to see if those metrics are moving forward for me or not. I tend to find this is also really helpful when I'm working with clients on goal setting because it's a way for me to quantify if they're moving forward and making progress to their goals, whether they're clinical or more coaching related. And you can apply these same strategies to your own goals that you are working on in your own life. I tend to utilize an assessment system called W.H.E.R.E.S, so W.H.E.R.E.S. It makes it somewhat easier to remember these different areas of your life that you can assess on a weekly or monthly basis, depending on how much time you have. So we're going to start with assessing the first area of the W.H.E.R.E.S system. So that's going to be the W. It's going to be work. And so for some people, this could be maybe more academic because they're a college age student or you're in high school. For others, you could be working a traditional job, or you might be a stay-at-home mom. You could also be a retiree or somewhere in between these phases of life. Whatever you're doing, I want you to think about what that work is. And then, are you happy doing whatever it is? Are you currently job hunting or looking for a new opportunity for yourself? How satisfied are you with that work? And I want you to rate all of these areas on a scale of 1 to 10. So 1 being super dissatisfied and unhappy, 10 being superbly happy and the most happy you could be in that environment. The next area of the W.H.E.R.E.S system is H, and that's going to stand for health. So how are you doing right now with nutrition, exercise, sleep? Maybe you've been investigating some things with your physician and you're working through that. How is that looking? Maybe that's weighing on you and you're stressed about that. That all plays a factor into that 1 to 10 rating that you're going to give yourself for your health score. Next is E for education. And so this could be different for everyone. I want you to think about it in how are you growing your brain right now. So for some people in an academic setting right now, you're going to class every day. And so you're getting some education that way. For others, it could be that you're listening to podcasts, you're reading books to grow your brain, you're listening to this video today, this counts. So how are you growing your mind? Are you participating in a mastermind group? Are you in a support group? What are you doing to help you and your brain grow? Again, give yourself a 1 to 10 scale, a rating on that scale. Next is R, and that stands for relationships. And so this could be any friend or family relationship. This could look at how fulfilled you are feeling just overall socially. And so I want you to think about, is there a conflict you're having with a friend or family member that's really weighing on you? Or are these relationships going really smoothly and great right now? If you're rocking in that area, great, give yourself a 10. But if there's some area for work, rate yourself accordingly. The next area is E again, and this E stands for emotional. How is your mental health? How are you doing? For most of us, this has been a really stressful season as we're weathering through this pandemic. And so I have tended to see the score drop for a lot of people as we're dealing with the pandemic, so much racial injustice in the world, political challenges. It's a lot for all of us to get up and see the news every day, and it takes a toll on us emotionally. Depending on how things are going in some of these other areas of your life, health, relationships, work, can make a huge difference on this emotional mental health rating. It can go up or down accordingly. And so I often see that if one of the other areas on this scale goes down, then I see the emotional one go down as well. And then when we see that improvement in an area, we see the mental health or emotional piece go up as well. So again, rank yourself 1 to 10. The S, or the last part of this ranking system, is spiritual. And this looks different for everyone. And so I want you each to think about your own personal spiritual journey and where you are on that journey right now, whatever that looks like for you. So for some people, this might mean going to a traditional church setting and maybe being involved in a Bible study. For others, this could be time spent in meditation or prayer or quiet contemplation. It could involve yoga or some other spiritual in between place for you, like whatever that looks like for you. I want you to rank it because it is an important piece for all of us, kind of where we feel like we fit into this world around us and how we're connecting to it. Once you've rated yourself on all 6 of these WHERES areas, I want you to add them up and then take that number and you're going to divide it by 6, and this is going to get you an average. From there, you're going to pretend there's a decimal point at the end of this, and you're going to move it over 1, and that's going to give you your percentage. And I want you to think about this as almost like a school-based grade. So let's go back to middle school, and I want you to think about having an A, B, C, D, E, not E, F. We'll give you an E for excellent, just for doing this. And so from there, you're going to rank yourself. So maybe you scored between 100% and 90%. Great, you're in that A range. Or maybe you got like an 89 to an 80%. Okay, so you've got a B overall. But what happens if you're currently at a C or a D level? Maybe you're lower, maybe you're higher. When you think about being in school, like, would you have been satisfied with having a C average? Would you have been satisfied with a D or an F average? I'm guessing if you were on that lower end of things, you would not have been satisfied, and you would have been taking steps to figure out what you could do to improve your grades and perform better. So when you think about your life, do you want to be living a life where you are at a D or an F? No, we don't. And we don't have to be. That's the beauty of this scale. You can then look at it and figure out where you were ranking lowest. So maybe it was in work. That's what really brought your percentage down. And so it might be time to think about job hunting and finding a new job, or going back to school, changing things up in that way somehow. Maybe it's with relationships. Maybe there's a really strained relationship that you have in your life right now, and you need to work on that. And by taking those steps, you can improve that area. And so that's what I would challenge you to do, is to think about one thing you can do this week to improve one of these goal areas. By no means do you have to tackle all of them on the WHERES scale. Just pick one that you feel would make the most difference. And much like we talked about with the emotional mental health piece, when we impact one area, it usually has some overflow into the other areas, and they all rise up. That's the beauty of this. It doesn't take tremendous effort in all areas. It's often just a little bit of effort, one step, to get us toward that goal and to improve things overall. Then you can come back to this rating system. Some of my clients do this weekly. For those that don't have time, then schedule an appointment with yourself once a month to sit down and assess how you're doing in these areas. It's such a great way to just kind of check the pulse of your goals, how you're doing across all these areas in your life, and to figure out with the days ahead where you really want to focus your energies to live the best life that you can. At Thrive for Life, our policy here, our big statement is that we want you thriving, not just surviving. And this is a great way to monitor this and to make sure that you're not just surviving, but you're really thriving in this life. Good luck, and I can't wait to hear your feedback on how this is going for you.